What's up, YouTube? It's PhiDX. I'm actually recording this off stream. Usually I try to record as many videos as I can on stream just to like maximize my time. But I thought this was a very YouTube specific type of video to make. So if you've been watching me for a while, thanks for clicking on this one. And I want to tell a few stories. I want to talk about why videos have kind of slowed down in the past couple weeks. I was also in the Sajam Slam for Street Fighter, so I want to talk about that. And then people have asked, like, are you going to be a Street Fighter player? I'll talk about my future in that game. And in general, where this channel will go. I'll try to timestamp everything below, but I kind of just want to talk about it. I think I have a lot I want to get out. And it's nothing like bad about people. It's just like my experience as a content creator and as a player. And as grateful as I am to be in this position, how challenging it's been in some ways. So I'm going to rant for a while. I'll leave on some gameplay. I know it's like hip to leave on like Subway Surfers while you're playing. So I'll just leave on some Tekken. This is some ranked I was playing, I think, literally today. Yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt. This is today.
Dang, 5,000 seconds feels long for Tekken.
All right, PhiDX, quiet down, will you? So, first things first, why videos have slowed down. I have been, having trouble sleeping, but the main reason they slowed down is because I went on, like, a vacation. So I'm going to click away from the gameplay for 2 seconds just to show you. You can see, like, my last post was 6 days ago, and then 10 days before that. And then I did a couple, like, in close succession. And then it was the Tekken Steps episode 2 that was like 3 weeks ago. So I've had like a 2-week gap, and then it's been a while since my past videos. The main reason that is because my fiance was invited to a couple weddings, and I was her +1, luckily. So I was out of town for about 10 days, and that's when the Esports World Cup started. And I actually brought my stream setup with me. I always bring my laptop and like my webcam, and then like my mics and stuff to try and make content when I'm on the go. And what was happening during the trip is it was like insanely busier than we thought it was going to be. By the time the EWC started, I was actually, I was like trying to catch up on sleep. So I was in bed watching on my phone, trying to like write down notes on the matches that I thought would be good. And then when I sat down to finally record it, I tried to record it for like 2 hours and I just kept messing up. I kept like stuttering over my words. I didn't have a cohesive message. My timing was off. It was like a really challenging video to make, just so you can like get a picture of like how it works. This is what it's like when I make an Esports World Cup coverage video. I open up a bunch of Twitch tabs. It was Twitch at the time because the VODs weren't uploaded to YouTube. And basically I copy links of every single like timestamp moment, right? You can see that Chrome deleted the timestamps here, but basically I'll jump between specific rounds and sets instead of covering entire games in order to save time to try and get through all of these. So I'll be jumping through, and in order to do that, I want to be able to like craft like a cohesive story, like kind of a narrative. So I have to kind of groom which matches I want to show. And that takes a lot of time. It was more time than I thought. I was really optimistic about being able to do it regularly, but it was more challenging content than normal. And that's why it's been so slow, is it's really, really hard to make. I still enjoy doing it, and I really, really appreciate the people who have stayed to comment and say like, you know, this is really helpful, or I enjoy watching your analysis, even if it's long. So I don't plan on stopping. It's just definitely been challenging for sure. That's the first reason. The second reason is right as I got back from these weddings where I was behind on Esports World Cup content, I was invited to the Sajam Slam. I was invited while I was gone, but I didn't get to play any Street Fighter till I got back home. And that was August 26th. And that gave me 8 days to train for the first tournament round. And the only Street Fighter experience I have was a week when the game came out ish. Like I placed rookie and then got to gold because I never played Street Fighter before. And then I stopped playing. So the Sajam Slam prep was my second week of Street Fighter. And in order to learn it, I wanted to be as optimized as possible. So let me switch the gameplay over real quick. Basically, when I watched my Tekken friends learn Street Fighter, it was a game that was clearly about anti-airs, react to the DI, drive impact, which is like an armor move, and then check when they like do a dash in. It's like a heat dash, right? If you don't know Street Fighter, I try to explain it as generally as possible. But what I'm doing here is I'm practicing cross cuts. So basically I do an electric motion, but I have to input the second half of it backwards in order to anti-air the jury jumping over behind me. Normally, if they jump in front of me, I just do a normal anti-air, right? So this is what a normal anti-air looks like. No, that's a cross cut. Hang on. That's a cross cut again. Crossing as in they're crossing up over your head. But a regular DP anti-air is when they're in front of you. So right here, I'm backing up, she jumps up, and I do a regular DP, right? So that's a fundamental of Street Fighter. It's really important to stop people jumping on you because jumping dodges moves, jumping gives you plus frames if you do an attack. So it's really important to be able to anti-air. That's kind of a core fundamental, and that was what I wanted to nail early on. And then, yeah, if you know, this is a tweet that sparked a lot of controversy in Street Fighter, or discussion pieces about, like, how strong jumping is. Anyways, that's off topic. The point is, I took this really, really seriously. To me, as a Tekken content creator, even though I love competing, it's, I think, pretty unrealistic to expect me to put up the same performance as the current GOATs, right? If you look at Arslan Ash, you look at Ulsan, you look at Atif, anybody who's performing really well in this game right now is just playing the game. And they play for anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day with the best players in the world. And this isn't me making excuses, like, content is my choice, right? But to match the level of skill on a competitive level in a new game, it just requires more game hours than I'm putting in. So I've kind of accepted that even though I will continue competing in Tekken 8, I'm not going to be, like, world class unless, you know, a miracle happens and, like, Noctis comes back, right? It's going to be pretty hard to compete really hard. So what the Sajam Slam meant to me was it was my chance to kind of be a competitor again, right? So how this works is
trouble with this match in particular.
How this works is they basically have a coach. If you haven't seen the old Sajam Slams, there's a Street Fighter player who's a coach. So Diaphone was our coach, and then there's 4 players who are like streamers or people from other games, and they split everybody into skill brackets. So I was the second from the top skill bracket. Probably because of my Tekken experience and the fact that I ranked up to Platinum pretty fast, I guess. I didn't look into the reasoning of it, but I was like, this is my chance to all in as a competitor again, just like on a field trip, right? I don't expect to play Street Fighter long term. This is like my little field trip back into serious competition. So I streamed Street Fighter for like 8 to 12 hours a day during this training period from August 26th to September 4th. There was a period of time where I took, I think, 2 to 3 days off, partially because my fiance had days off and we needed to, you know, catch up on stuff after the trips and the weddings. But also I was like, I've learned so much Street Fighter. I literally lost like 40 straight games to speed kicks. And I've learned so much Street Fighter. I need to take time to let my brain absorb all these concepts because I was doing so much. The anti-air training, the jump in, handling jump ins from my opponent, reacting to the driver, all of these things, right? So I was really taking it extremely seriously, right? Like as a straight competitor. So that's why there's a big gap in videos here. Is I tried to put up videos, but I was so focused on the grind, and I really, really, really wanted to win because the top 4 go to TwitchCon. So this is the finals bracket. Basically, the way it works is everybody starts in winner's side, but based on the earlier seeding from the round robin stages, you get a bye to later rounds here, right? But as long as you survive this first elimination round, you're in the top 4, right? Top 2 here, and then the bottom 2 here will be competing at TwitchCon on the big stage. And I love competing. I love playing on stage, on stream. It's one of the most exciting things about fighting games to me, even like way before I did YouTube. So I really, really wanted to win this. And I knew that it was a team game, right? So it's a team format. So our team might do poorly, whatever, but I wanted to make sure I did my job to win my matches. So I trained as hard as I could. After the first round robin stages, it became very clear that I was outmatched by Roy Chiato here, a Jamie player in Automatic's team. And Fumi was also really difficult. And Red Riot Ross was interesting because I beat him the first round and then lost the second round. And then Brawl Pro, if you don't know, is another Tekken content creator. He plays Zangief, so it's basically the king of that game, and he beat me every time. So after the first round robin phase, right, the second round robin phase, on the 4th and the 6th of September, we had the finals on the 8th. And with all my serious training, I put so much pressure on myself to like perform. And like for example, this is my my second time playing Roy. And he 2-0s me, or 2-1, one of the two. And then he beat me the first round, the second round, I'm repeating myself. But after this, I literally like hit up like a master player, and like I lost 38 games straight in a custom match, just trying to learn the Jamie matchup. Like, I grinded so many games. This was the same day. So, like, this stream was 14 and a half hours because I really, really wanted to win. I'm not saying this to, like, make you feel sorry for me. It's like, this is how badly I really wanted to win. Is after the tournament stream, and Street Fighter is exhausting, right? So we had like an 8-hour stream. I just sat and kept grinding matchups. And I was having fun. Like, it was cool. I was just really, really serious about it, right? And then when we get to the finals day, I think it's this one. Yeah. And when we get to the finals day, I'll just talk about the match a little bit. Even if you don't understand Street Fighter, I'll try to make it as understandable as possible. Jamie's basically a Tekken character. He has like strings, kind of like Law. So the Spectre decline fast forwards, but I get him in the corner now. And this is where Cammy's really strong, right? She has really good giant buttons. That's a DP, the anti-air on his jump in. This is really like the fundamental thing of Street Fighter we were talking about, right? He's in the corner. He wants to get out. There's no side steps or anything like that, right? So I back up and I react to him jumping in with the electric input, basically. Nice. So I was practicing that forever. You saw it in the earlier Twitter clip. And I was feeling really, really good after that, right? Like, I'm mechanically locked in, things like that. He's fighting his way out of the corner. He does a string. I get a punish, right? Usually, I had not known any of the strings before, so I took the time to study the frame data, kind of practice every time he plays this guy, it looks better. Nailing the right punishes. And Diafun's saying, yeah, I'm playing way better than normal every single time we play. But even though the first round goes really well, the pressure just kept adding up inside my own head. Like, I get there, here, all he does is he's dive kicking here. He's just jumping up and then like coming down with a jumping attack. And in this game, the jumping attacks are like mids and you usually block low. So I'm crouching here. Actually, no, that's a whiff punish. I try to kick him and he jumps over. I'm not going to dig too much into the Street Fighter here, but long story short, even after losing the first time, losing the second time, doing like 14 plus hours of straight Jamie studying, and Jamie's not supposed to be top tier. He's supposed to be like mid tier. I lost again. And I had never been so upset at a loss in a very long time. It felt like, yeah, he perfected me, and then he just ends up outplaying me over and over and over again. And it just felt like, if you've ever had to like retake a test, it felt like I retook a test 3 times and failed every time. When I literally spent like almost every waking hour trying to prepare for this test. So on one hand, I have no regrets because I tried my hardest. Nice. On the other hand, it just felt terrible to put your all into learning it and just like not be able to do it. Like, my wrist started hurting. And if you know my like Tekken philosophy, I don't play through pain. But for Street Fighter, I was like so focused on getting better, I wasn't paying attention to my wrist. So my right wrist has a bit of pain and I'm resting it. I can't get like a dive kick off. Like, he's always air to air. Yeah. And there were so many concepts and ideas I was trying to explore. I was getting a lot of advice and I was just not able to implement it. And that was so frustrating. And then this is my elimination match. My team is up 2-0, right? So we lost that last set. We're here in the loser side. If I win this match, we go to TwitchCon, right? So I'm so focused on winning this. Brawl Pro wins game 1, so I decide to lock in, right? Like, there's my anti-air there. Against Zangief, it's kind of like King. You kind of have to play slow, but you can't go full passive or he'll just run you over, right? So I play like spaced out. I try to challenge every jump in with the anti-air there. And then I just play it really, really as slow as possible. And honestly, I was playing the best I'd ever played. There's a big whiff punish, right? And the game kind of just goes like this, right? If I mess up, though, look at the damage I took from that throw, right? I messed up my anti-air because he jumped too far away, and he gets a grab punish. Right? So it's literally like King, except the grabs are unbreakable. You have to jump them on prediction in this game. In any case, I end up winning game 2 to even up the score. Right, a few mistakes, obviously, but the key factor here is, you see the super meter in the bottom right. Brawl Pro has his like ultimate, his level 3, and it's a command grab, so I have to jump it on prediction. So what happens here is I do some offense and then I jump and I bait his super, his ultimate, right? So that gives me the game advantage. Game 3, it's looking really, really good. I get a nice anti-air to keep him in the corner. Right, I try to run some offense, I mess up, he grabs me, and then it kind of just starts getting real ugly, right? Like, I'm fighting my way out of the corner, doing the best I can. The life lead is good, but he lands this one big jump in hit, and like, I'm on like last hit. I do a desperation, like invincible move to try and hit him, And then he gets a command grab, and it's unbreakable. It's not like Tekken where you can react. You have to jump in advance, right? In case I didn't mention that 3 times already. So I was feeling the pressure here. I was trying to play as slow as I could. Again, just trying to like nail the things we practice, nail the ideas, not overextend and die. And it goes pretty well for most of the game. I'm too late to react to the heat dash, his drive rush. And man, this is just such a scary position to play from. The gameplay is going to look super slow, but if you're not a Street Fighter player, maybe it's more visible, right? I'm just moving as slow as possible to try and clip him without getting grabbed, without getting counter hit. And now this is absolute disaster. He is level 3, and I'm just trying to react to the dash in. I do an attack on reaction, but he cancels into his invincible super move. So it goes through my kick, grabs me, and I have to sit and watch this animation. I'm trying to plan my next move, and it just straight up kills me. And after this, we go on to lose the rest of our sets, and we are eliminated. If I had won this, we would have gone. And that was really, really tough for me. Even with a situation like this, I had a lot of people saying I played really well. I had improved a lot really fast, like really good, like nice validating words. But ultimately I lost. And that was kind of all I could focus on. So it was really hard to make videos during that process and videos after, right? At this point, this loss was 2 days ago. And this video will come out like 2 days after this. Well, like it'll come out when it says 6 days ago, right? That was really, really difficult. But where are we going now? Like, what is my future with Street Fighter? Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is I'll still be making primarily Tekken content for this channel. That's, I think, the priority. The audience primarily likes that. I still enjoy Tekken a lot. The bad news is I'm really addicted to Street Fighter. And it's a weird place to be. I really value the way the game plays, the way it rewards your practice. I'll put on the Tekken gameplay again. I really value the whole Street Fighter experience, even when it is really frustrating. Because I feel like my hard work is really rewarded. And yes, I'm a noob playing this game, so it's not a fully accurate like reward system. You know, when you're like trying to refine a game you've already played for a long time versus learning a brand new game, it's obviously going to feel different. But Street Fighter feels really addicting and rewarding. On top of that, the online experience is just so good, right? Like, I can log on and have a match within like from the time I boot up the game, I can have a match in like 2 minutes. If I boot up Tekken 8, I have to sit and wait in queue forever. Even if I, like, here I'm playing on a blue rank account, right? Or not blue rank character. And I just cannot find matches. And the matches are laggy. People will one and done. The software lags. If I have any other windows open and I'm streaming. Street Fighter, I could have multiple tabs open, do all these different things. And just the gaming experience was so fluid. And so coming back to Tekken from that was one difficulty. The other difficulty is I liked playing Cammy in that game more than I like playing any Tekken character. Like, Cammy feels like my main character, you know? If I played Street Fighter. And I still don't really have a main character in Tekken. So that's another thing. And on top of all of that, it's so hard to find practice in Tekken, like serious practice, because the online experience is so rough. So even my best training partners, we don't get good connections. It's really difficult. And I don't have access to them offline where we can constantly practice. Again, to stay like at a world-class level. So I'm in a weird situation where I'm really enjoying Street Fighter, but it doesn't really make sense for the channel. We're putting up some content on the second channel regarding Street Fighter, but it just doesn't make sense to do. And even though I like the game, I don't really have any goals. Like, for me, I don't want to hit a certain rank in Street Fighter necessarily. Like, might as well get to Master since I'm almost there. But for me, I really just wanted to win my matches in the Sajam Slam. And I lost to nearly everybody except one player who, and this is not me throwing shade, I think he had like hand issues and was like out of town for a lot of it, so he couldn't even practice Street Fighter. He was like mainly like streaming Madden, I think. And the only person I was able to beat was the guy who wasn't even practicing, you know? And this isn't any shade towards him. This is like just frustration towards myself. I really wanted to win in a high stakes situation where I set aside the time to practice and work as hard as I could. And I couldn't do it. And that is continually a tough pill to swallow. There isn't really a chance for like a run back either, because there's all I wanted was the Sajam Slam and like the TwitchCon, you know, appearance. Like even if I enter like a Street Fighter tournament, I'm just gonna fight against like, you know, players my level and then some of the best players in the United States, and it's not the same. It was kind of like I had a controlled, like skill matched bracket to perform in, and that's where I failed. So ultimately, I'm grateful to have been like a part of the Sajam Slam. My specific experience was just very difficult because of the pressure I put on myself. The backseating from the Twitch chat was also horrendous. Like people were giving me incorrect information all the time, and because I had such a limited training period, that was each mistake, like wrong advice was so it was a big deal. Like losing an hour trying to train the wrong thing was a big deal. And then finally being put in like a pressure situation again and failing was really, really, yeah, that was the hardest part for sure. So where this channel will go, we'll be back to Tekken, and I'm going to cover more of the Esports World Cup stuff. What I showed you is actually going to be the next episode. I just have to get all the links in order so I can show all of the matches as quickly as possible. We'll be streaming more Tekken as well. We might stream more Street Fighter now and then. But I have to get back in shape for Tekken. I have a really exciting collaboration coming up with Red Bull. There'll be another announcement about that later. But that's coming up near the end of September. So please look forward to that. Thanks for sticking around if you have this long, just to find out that we're still going to be doing Tekken footage. I know it's kind of baity or whatever, but I really feel like I needed to talk about it. You know, there's so many comments always talking about how I'm not really a competitive player anymore. And they're right. It's like partially right. So I was really excited to try and compete in Street Fighter and just have this little like mini, like a work retreat, you know, like take a break from YouTube for a little bit and just grind as a competitor. But that's what made the loss so hard, is I really, really wanted to win. And even if my team lost all their matches and I won all of mine, I think I would have been okay. But because it was the almost exact opposite, my team was constantly winning and I literally just could not get a win. It was really hard. So when we get back to Tekken, I'm not sure what we'll do. We'll have to get through the connection issues and the software issues. Tekken is still a really cool game. I love watching it. I love playing it. But yeah, just no main character is a bit tough as well. If you do enjoy Street Fighter, please let me know in the comments. It would be cool to maybe do some crossover content, like what to learn if you're just starting. What was my approach to improving? I talk about it a bit in the second channel, but yeah, let me know what you think. That's pretty much all I have. I could ramble forever, but I think it's good enough. Thanks for sticking around if you did. We'll be back to Esports World Cup footage soon. Catch you in the next one. Peace.